The third precept of the church is to receive the sacrament of the Eucharist at least once a year during the Easter season. Obviously, this year, that obligation has been lifted, as has our obligation to come to Mass and Holy Days of Obligation right now. But ordinarily, once a year, we receive Holy Communion. Now, the Church has for many, many years encouraged more frequent communion than that, and desires us to regularly be receiving. In fact, every time we come to Mass, provided that we're in the state of grace. And you've heard me talk a lot on this topic, that we have to be in communion with the Lord if we are to receive him in communion. And that's so important. If we get into the habit of receiving Holy Communion when we're not in the state of grace, then it cheapens it. It becomes unimportant, or I think, well, there's no effect this time. I don't notice any difference when I'm in the state of grace or when I'm not in the state of grace. I don't give it the importance that it has because I'm doing it when I shouldn't be doing it. And this is a real bad habit to get into. We can sometimes think of being in the state of grace as a binary sort of thing. I'm either in grace or I'm out of grace. And so if I'm out of grace, well, what does it matter if I go to communion and commit yet another mortal sin? I'm already out. But it's really not like that. We're in a relationship. We're in a relationship with God, and the more times we sin, especially grave sins, we're pushing him further and further away. We're running further away from him. And this is never going to be helpful for our spiritual life. So this is so important not to go through the motions. We really need to get back into the habit of good preparation for Holy Communion. When you think about it, when the other side of the argument was, no, we shouldn't have frequent communions. Once a year is plenty enough, because then we really look forward to it. We really prepare well for it. It doesn't become commonplace. It doesn't become routine. Is there a way to keep those two things in balance? Is there a way to hold the tension there that I receive frequently, but I stay well disposed? I continue to long for Jesus, even if I receive weekly, even if I receive daily. That, I think, is the challenge for us to live the faith out, that we never receive Holy Communion as if it's just something I do. So the third precept of the church, to receive Holy Communion at least once a year during the Easter season.